Welcome back to AWS Solution Architect Associate. So in today's session, we'll be solving this guided lab, Module 13 guided lab, which is implementing a serverless architecture with AWS Lambda. So I've started my lab. Okay. So let's see what we'll be achieving after completing this lab. So after completing this lab, we should be able to implement a serverless architecture on AWS. We'll be able to trigger Lambda function from AWS S3 and Amazon DynamoDB. We'll be able to configure Amazon simple notification service to send notifications. So at the end of this lab, our architecture would look something like this. We'll upload a file to S3 bucket, and when we upload a file to the S3 bucket, it will trigger a Lambda function, and this Lambda function will write some to the DB. So the DynamoDB table will trigger the dashboard application, which would go for authentication. And then when we have any new entry or update any entry, so it will trigger a Lambda function again, and the Lambda function will trigger the SMS topic, and based on that we'll get some SMS notification. Okay, so I've started the lab. So let's start with task one. So creating a Lambda function to load data. Okay, so let's open AWS. Okay, so we'll be creating this Lambda function, which will read inventory file and inserts item into DynamoDB table. So in the AWS management console, let's go to services and choose Lambda. Let's go to Lambda. So we have this Lambda here. Okay, so let's follow along and let's choose create a function. And blueprints are code templates for writing Lambda function. Blueprints are provided for standard Lambda triggers, such as creating Amazon Alexa skills and processing Amazon kinds data and all. So we'll be using the author from scratch option. Okay, I will be choosing this author from scratch and configure the following settings. So let's add this name, load inventory. Function name will be load inventory. Runtime will be Python 3.7. Let's choose Python 3.7. So since we don't have Python 3.7, so let's choose Python 3.11, which is latest. Choose or create an execution role. Let's go here, and execution role will be use an existing role. So let's choose the existing role, and existing role will be Lambda load inventory role. So let's choose the role Lambda load inventory role. Okay, and once we do that, let's go and create a function. So let's create a function. So Lambda load inventory role, this role gives the Lambda function permission so that it can access Amazon S3 and DynamoDB. Okay, so let's scroll down to the code sources section, and in the environment pane, choose Lambda function.py. So let's go to code section. So this is our code. So currently it is empty. So when we trigger this Lambda, we'll just get a return. We'll have this return value of status code 200 and body hello from Lambda. Okay. So in the code editor, delete all the code. So in the code source editor, copy and paste the following code. So we need to copy and paste all this code. Let's do that. So we are very expert in copy and pasting. So let's replace everything. Okay. So I've removed everything and added a new code which they asked us to paste. Examine the code, it performs the following steps. So it's download the file from the S3 that triggered the event, loop through each line of the file, insert the data into DynamoDB inventory table. So let's have a look at this code. Okay, so first we get this bucket and it load this file. So from this S3 it download the file. Okay, and then after that it opened the file and it reads the file using the CSV reader. So since we're downloading the CSV file, okay, and then for every item it's inserting to the table. So for every new line it's creating a entry in the DB. Okay, so let's deploy. So it's want us to deploy, we have to do that. So next you will configure Amazon S3 to trigger the Lambda function when a file is uploaded. So let's go with task 2, configuring an Amazon S3 event. So now we have created this Lambda function. Now we'll create, or we will trigger this Lambda function from this S3 bucket whenever a file is uploaded. So, okay, so let's go to S3. Let's go to services and let's go to S3. So let's go to S3 and let's create a new bucket. So we need to choose create bucket. So let's create a bucket. So let's follow all. So bucket name would be enter inventory, replace with a random number. So let's say inventory. So random number would be 1 2 3 4 5 9 8 8. Okay, so this is a random number. Okay, and then let's choose create bucket. So let's not do anything else, and let's just create a bucket. Okay, okay, so we have created a bucket. So we might receive an error that says request bucket name is not available, so we don't get that error. So choose the name of your inventory bucket. Let's go to the bucket which we have created. So this is the bucket which we have created, and then scroll down to event notification. Let's go to event notification. I think it should be inside these properties. So here, let's create an event notification and let's follow along. And the name should be load inventory. Let's copy this. Let's say load inventory, and event type all object create events. Okay, all object create events, and then destination Lambda function. We should have a destination here, Lambda function, and let's choose the Lambda load inventory. Okay, and let's save changes. Okay, so now we have added an event trigger, like whenever we have any event in this bucket, so it will trigger the Lambda function, correct? So when an object is created in bucket, this configuration tells Amazon S3 to trigger the load inventory Lambda function that you created earlier. Your bucket is now ready to receive inventory files. Okay, so let's test the loading process. So now we are ready to test the loading process. So let's upload an inventory file. So it wants us to download all this file. Let's download. So okay, so I have downloaded all these files, and these files are the inventory files that you can use them to test the system. They are comma separated, like they are CSV values, and they follow examples shows in the content of the Berlin file. So it has a store, it has a name, it has an item, it has a count. So for the store, it's a Berlin. So the item is echo dot and the count is 12. Okay. So in the console, let's return to S3 bucket by choosing object tab. So let's go to S3 bucket, let's go to object, and then let's upload the file. Let's upload, let's add files. So before that, let's ask, let's say, choose add files and select one of the inventory CSV files. You can choose any inventory file. Okay, so let's add file and let's choose any of the file, AWS, and let's choose inventory Berlin, and let's upload. Okay, and then choose upload. Amazon S3 will automatically trigger the Lambda function, which will load the data into DynamoDB table. A serverless dashboard application has been provided for you to view the result. At the top of this instruction, choose the detail buttons and go to the AWS. Choose show button, and from the condition show, copy the dashboard URL. So let's go to detail, let's go to show. So we should have the inventory dashboard. So let's open this, the new tab. So we uploaded for the Berlin, so you can see we have the Berlin inventory here, right? Amazing, right? So we uploaded this CSV file in S3 bucket, and the S3 bucket triggers the Lambda, and the Lambda, what it does is it reads the S3 file, it reads the file from the S3 bucket, and it uploads it to it creates an entry to the DynamoDB. Okay, So let's close this, and we're successfully getting this dashboard, right? So the dashboard application is served as a static web page from Amazon S3. The dashboard authenticates via Amazon Cognito as an anonymous user, which provides sufficient permission for the dashboard to retrieve data from DynamoDB. So you can also view the data directly in the DynamoDB table. On the services, choose DynamoDB. Let's go to DynamoDB now. DynamoDB. Let's open this new tab. And let's go to tables. So we have this inventory table. Okay. And choose the inventory table and choose the item tabs. So let's go to the item tabs in the DynamoDB. Where is the item tab? Okay, so these are the items in this table. So we have Berlin, we have store, we have item, and we have count, right? So this is the item in this DynamoDB. So now let's configure notification. Okay, so whenever we have the entry in the DynamoDB, we want to send some notification. So Amazon SNS is flexible, fully managed publish message and mobile notification service. It delivers messages to subscribing endpoint and client. With Amazon SNS, you can fan out messages to a large number of subscribers, including distributed system and services and mobile devices. Okay, so let's go to simple notification service. Let's choose SNS, simple notification service. So in the create topic box, for topic name, enter non-stock, keep standard selected. So let's write no stock. Let's do next step, and then we will go with keep standard selected and choose create topic. So we can say create topic. Okay, so let me pull this closer here. So to receive notification, you must subscribe to the topic. You can choose to receive notification via several methods such as SMS and email. So in the lower half of the page, choose create subscription. Let's go to create subscription. Okay, and then let's choose protocol email. So email, and let's add my email, which is iam@pratapsharma.io, and then let's say create subscription. So that means whenever there is no stock, then we should get a email, right? So after you create an email subscription, you will receive a notification email message. Open the message and choose confirm subscription link. Okay, so just a second. Okay, so I received this email. So let's say confirm subscription. So we have subscribed successfully. So let me close this, and let me just left it open like that so that we can check it on. So let's create a Lambda function to send notification. Okay, so now we'll be working on this section. So we have a simple notification service, we have a DynamoDB. So we want to trigger this Lambda function whenever we have this any input, like we'll read this database, right? So let's create this Lambda function. So let's create a new function again. Okay, so let's go to function, let's go to create function, and let's follow along. So this will be check stock, the function name will be check stock, and it will be still Python. So let's choose Python 3.11 since there is no 7, and then let's choose or create an execution role, change the default execution role, use an existing role, and let's choose check stock role, Lambda check stock role. So in this one we should choose Lambda check stock role, right? And then let's create the function. So this role was configured with permission to send notification to Amazon SNS. And then let's copy paste this code again. So okay, so we can do that here. Let's remove all this. So what will this do is, like, whenever this is triggered, so from the event it will extract the records. For every record it will go and check this DynamoDB and get the image. For every new image, like, it will have the count, and then whenever there is no count, then it will send this message to this topic, that inventory alert. So like, the store is out of stock, correct? So let's deploy this. Okay, so it loops through the incoming records. If the inventory count is 0, it sends a message to the no stock SNS topic. Okay, so we have deployed it. So let's go to the designer section again, and then we can say, we can add trigger. Let's search for DynamoDB. Okay, and then we have to choose DynamoDB table as inventory, and then we'll have to choose add. Let's choose add. So that means whenever there is like DynamoDB will be triggering this Lambda function, and this Lambda function should trigger the SNS, right? So let's test the system. So let's choose S3. Let's choose the name of our inventory bucket, and let's upload different inventory file. Okay, let's go to our S3 bucket here, and let's close this, and let's upload another file. So the time we uploaded Berlin, this time let's upload Calcutta, and then let's upload. Okay, so return to the inventory system dashboard and refresh the page. So let's refresh this page. Okay, so this time we get this Berlin and Calcutta, right? You should now be able to use the store. Okay, also you should receive a notification through SMS or email that the store has out of stock item. We have received this email. Busan is out of stock, Sangma is out of stock, Springfield is out of stock. Amazing, right? So far, like, we have worked on all of this system. We have created S3 bucket, we have created Lambda function, we have created another Lambda function, we have created an SNS topic. So whenever we upload a file, inventory file to this S3 bucket, it will trigger the Lambda function. So the Lambda function will create a collection or create an entry in this DynamoDB, and then whenever a item is inserted into this DynamoDB, it will trigger this Lambda function. This Lambda function receives the table updates. If no inventory is found, a message is sent to an Amazon SNS topic, and this SNS topic will send an email or SMS, and we'll finally receive the email here, right? So I think this is it from this session. Hope to see you in another session. Thank you.